Has it ever offended you that another fan expressed a contrary viewpoint, one you might not necessarily have appreciated? Well, if so, this segment might be for you. Stick around and we're going to talk about that, cover this week's poll results, and also talk about the multiple reports we have of poor QC on HasLab Omega Prime. That and more right now on Transformers Talk Raw. So welcome back, botheads, to another TTRP. That's the Transformers Talk Raw podcast here on YouTube, or the glorious realm that is Spotify. I'd like to thank you guys, each one of you, for coming in and checking us out. However you're doing it, be sure to hit all those links or check out those links in the description below. It's going to take you to a world of cool things, including our Facebook group, where we'd be glad to see you guys there. Come join us, share your own channels or pages, chat bots with us. You can also do that via your personal invitation to the Transformers Talk Raw Discord server, and we'd love to see you there too, guys. It's growing all the time. Check out those links. If you'd like to support the podcast further, besides hitting that thumbs up and making sure you're subscribed for each weekly show, packed full of the latest news. But if you'd like to support further, guys, you can check out our Patreon link and all those other great channels in that description below. But let's get right into it, guys. You know, our fandom has become divided over the past few years, even more than it was before. And I've been there pretty much from the beginning. You know, I was a fan since 1986. But, you know, on the earliest days of the internet chat boards, where the fans initially started coming together, I was there, and I've seen us get into fights, but never like at the rate we're seeing now, in my opinion. You have younger fans hating what they term G1ers and using that term in a derogatory way. Of course, I don't take it in a derogatory way. I take it as a compliment, because despite what you may have heard, G1ers didn't start as a derogatory term. It's what fans of G1 called each other, in fact. You're a G1er, I'm a G1er too. So, I mean, it's just the level of disrespect I see on every platform online for fans and in between the fandom has just gotten very bad. Of course, you have the standard censor-shaming tactics when somebody says something that's not appreciated by either one person or a lot of times it's a mob of individuals. They'll call that person out. They'll mass ignore them or ostracize them. They'll retweet and to mock them. Of course, this has been done to myself several times, but I see it with other people. I saw it this past week on Facebook. There was a particular Facebook group. And one gentleman kept posting about the fact that he didn't care for Transformers 1 and why. A lot of people didn't like that. So they censor-shamed him so much that they got him in trouble with the staff and he was booted. Now, he may have been in the wrong to a certain degree, but in response to this fella's actions, and I can't show you a lot of this due to YouTube's rules and policies on images, but this guy received threats of harm. He's a younger fan, too. Ostracation. He was totally isolated from the group itself. But not only that, like I said, he received threats of harm, people mocking him, tone policing. And it just got to a very deplorable level, guys. And, of course, I spoke up a little bit on his behalf, and I received the same treatment. Of course, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm quite used to that, you know, just for calling out PvP. And a lot of the theft that's been going on in our hobby for a few years now, I've been dealing with that. For also myself not enjoying Transformers 1, that's another thing I've received a lot of heat for. So, you know, and I think there's important things to keep in mind here. And I think we can mend the gaps that have divided us for so long. And of course, a lot of the younger fans, they don't care about mending those gaps. But I think it's very important that we as individuals start working on this. One thing is to remember the golden rule, you know, and even if you're not a, Christian or you're not a very spiritual person, in practice and in theory, the golden rule is a very healthy thing to follow. Simply to treat others how you yourself would like to be treated. But how much more so within the fandom? You know, whether you're young or old, we're all Transformer fans. Even if you hate G1 or you hate Transformers 1 or you hate the Bayverse, we all love something about the Transformers. Can't we connect through that fact alone? I mean, can't we all love giant robots that are cool. So can't we reach out to each other and befriend each and respect each other just based on that? But we also have to keep in mind that others are entitled 100% to their own views. And there is a block feature on many platforms online, on Facebook, on Twitter. So you don't have to keep seeing something that disturbs you. But if it does disturb you so much and you can't just block them, which is not my first response to do anyway, you can either ignore them or politely ask them, hey man, well, I enjoyed it. I respect your views, but I feel differently. Let's just agree to disagree. And that's fine. And usually 9 times out of 10, that person's going to shut up. But if you respond by fighting fire with fire, that's not going to help anything, guys. I'm telling you, I've seen it 100 times, 1,000 times actually. Not only in my own interactions. I mean, if you fight fire with fire, it really just creates a larger flame. That's all it does. If you want to put that fire out, I'm telling you how to go about it. But we can also know that, for G1ers, we can remember that we need the new generation. A lot of the younger fans claim that we G1ers are stuck up and we hate everything that's not G1, and that's not true. Being a G1er just means you're a fan of G1. It doesn't mean you don't like anything else. It just means that we love G1, and a lot of times we love G1 the most. But that's something we older fans need to remember, is that we really require the younger fans, because the Transformers will die after us if we don't have that next generation also loving them. And for the younger generation, the younger fans, you need to listen to this fact, to respect the old school and what came before the franchise or the series or the media that you enjoy about the Transformers. Because without G1, without the Beast Wars, let me tell you something, guys, you wouldn't have gotten what you have today. There would be no Transformers 1. That's a fact. They would have died before G2 came out if the fandom didn't want the Transformers back. They would have died after G2 before Beast Wars came out if the fandom didn't want them back, if there wasn't an audience. So it was that passion that allowed the Transformers to survive. So I think you younger folks and fans need to be really thankful for G1ers, as some of y'all like to call us in a derogatory way, or that old generation. So there's things we both can learn, but we need to really mend these gaps. And the only thing I don't know personally about the fandom, because I know how the fandom behaves online, and a lot of it's just deplorable, and I've seen it on every platform, guys. But I think there's one thing I don't know, is how they behave in real life. And I have a feeling that at any convention you go to, or any con, you see nothing but peaceful action. So it's amazing to me, if that's true, how things change so quick in reality. But they just blow up online. And why is that? Is it just we get braver because we don't have to look someone in the eye? That's an interesting question, but I really think, guys, it's time to heal these wounds of our fandom. But let me know what you think in the comments below. We're going to go on and talk about the multiple reports of QC that we've recently seen for the HasLab Omega Prime. Of course, we know that many people are still getting their copies in, and many have already gotten them. And of course, a couple days ago, I woke up to the first report of this poor QC. And then I woke up to another one today, as of this recording, about yellowing on some copies. And there's only a few reports so far, but we're getting them in still. That's the thing, guys. And I'm not even sure specifically what is the breakage issue, because I don't own the HasLab Omega Prime. I did not back it. I've been talking about not backing HasLabs for quite a while. I'm not a fan of the sales model of it, and especially main protagonists and antagonists being HasLab figures in the first place. I think it totally blocks and prevents a younger generation of fans from acquiring those figures, for getting into RID. How is a young child or a child supposed to get an RID if they can't own Optimus Prime? It doesn't make any sense to me. People say, the people that love HasLab, they're going to say, oh, well, it's not for younger fans. That's the problem, that it's not for you. It needs to be for children too. That's what kept the Transformers alive this long. But I digress. Let me know in the comments what you think. It's really scary to me, though, guys. We have reports of cracked parts and of tabs that won't connect and of yellowing. And I tried to warn you guys with this, because it's a dice roll. You're backing something based off a render initially. They don't even have a prototype initially. When they announce HasLabs, it's just a CG render. So it's crazy to me. And then you have to wait a year. You have to overpay. And you do overpay for it, in my opinion. $300 for this figure is way too much money. But that's my opinion. Hasbro acts like Vag Metal is some premium feature. It's not a premium feature at all. We see it on $10 Mattel Masters of the Universe figures last year. So that's horse crap. Oh, well, it comes with a stand. Who cares about the stand? You don't have to give me the stand. If that $300 you're trying to justify by saying it comes with a stand, that's ridiculous. But these are my opinions and my thoughts. If you like the figure, and I hope you do, I hope your copy is great. And if you backed it, I really hope that you're happy with it. But it's just not for me, guys. It's just a risk. You're rolling that. You might get lucky, like with the Death Saurus, but you might not, like with Victory Saber. And so far with Omega Prime, it seems to be 50-50, because I've seen just as many bad reports as I do good ones. But the jury's still out with him. Let me know what you guys think. Let's move right along to this week's news and our poll results. Check out the poll results. And last week we asked the question, which is your favorite non-Cybertronian species within the Transformers? And out of 132 participants, 60%, a whopping 60%, said the Junkions, with the Quintessons lagging behind at 27%. So the Junkions are buying away, from this small sample size of fans, their favorite non-Cybertronian species in the Transformers. And we know that the Junkions and species like the Lithonians, or the folks from Lithos, who were devoured in Transformers the movie, in some forms of Transformers media, they share similar origins with Cybertronians, but I still count them because they have their own unique homeworlds as being independent species. So I had somebody bring that up in the comments that was kind of rude and never really listens to the show, so I just wanted to clarify that. They are, to me, their own independent peoples. But let's move right along to this week's news. We know that the Transformers Squeezeling sidekicks have been found and spotted at U.S. retail. And of course, these figures come with a comic and a minifigure, and they look pretty good for what they are. If you're excited about those, keep your eye open. We also have Takara's Wild King Transformers Wave 1 in-hand images via an X user, or Twitter user. And this is Optimus, etc., Megatron, a few other characters. I'm not impressed with these things, guys. They look kind of hollow to me. They look like big lumps of colorful plastic. I think Optimus looks like the best one, but even he does not impress me that much. But if you're excited for them, they're going to be releasing real soon. We also know that the Earthspark Transformers Wave 8 Deluxes have been spotted at US retail, and of course that includes Thrash, Hashtag, Soundwave, and Optimus Prime. If you're a big fan of Earthspark, they should also be popping up at your locations real soon. We also have images of the Fans Hobby MB32 Metal Hawk color prototype. Of course, that releases either next month or June of this year. And this thing looks actually really cool. I love the fact they're homaging his Pretender mode with the actual human face, and that's something that even Hasbro couldn't do, but for some reason. And if you're excited about that, I just don't know Fans Hobby as a company. I've never purchased any of their product. Are they good and are they reputable? They've been around for a minute, so I don't know. You guys let me know. We also know and are sad to learn that G1 packaging artist and box art artist David Schleinkoffer has passed away on April 20th last week. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with his family. And he is a renowned artist, a legendary artist that contributed quite a bit to the Transformers through his work. We're very sad to learn of that, guys. But yeah, guys, we're going to have a new giveaway next week. Thank you so much for coming and listening. God bless you guys. We're going to get you back real soon. Sorry for the delay, by the way, guys. I had to go out of town this past weekend, take care of some business. But we're back on track, and we're going to be talking Transformers again real soon. Thank you guys so much. God bless you, and till all are one. This podcast is made possible thanks to the support of listeners like you. Thank you.